Good day, everyone. This is Chen Yuli, CEO of the International Cooperation Center of TCA. Thank you for joining this Twin Dialogue today on the topic of Smart City Partnership. I would like to first acknowledge our fellow organizers and supporting organizations. First, we have our VIP speaker joined from India, include Mr. Rahul Kapoor, who is the Director of Smart City Missions of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, as well as Mr. Taipei Singh, Chairman of the new Town Kolkata Development Authority, and Mr. Sunny Kapoor, who is the Principal Consultant of Technology Consulting, PwC, who will give us the insight of India Smart City Development and case study. On the Taiwan side, I would like to thank Ms. Amanda Ye, who is the Manager of Marketing and Promotion at Taipei Smart City Management Office, and Mr. Sam Sun, who is the Regional Head of the Smart City Promotion Team of TCA, and Ms. Anita Chen, Deputy Secretary General of GoSmart, Global Organization of Smart Cities, who will show us the smart city practice of Taipei and the general smart city development of Taiwan, and finally, how to internationally proof of concept project are running by the GoSmart. Finally, I would like to thank to the Bureau of the Foreign Trade for supporting this program. Smart city is a very popular topic in both in Taiwan and India. By using all kind of data, new technologies to resolve all kind of the problem, increase efficiencies, and reduce the negative impact of urbanizations. It can greatly improve the quality of life of our citizens, reduce the traffic time, for example, increase the air, water qualities, and even lower the crime rate. I don't need to explain more of this, as we have all experienced the benefit of smart management of city administration during the COVID. In terms of delivering healthcare service as well as in monitoring city administrations. In Twin Dialogue, we hope that the information presented by the speakers, India and Taiwan, can borrow each other's smart city development experience and inspire methods for mutually beneficial cooperation. Once again, I would like to thank for everyone for being here today, and we look forward to informative discussions. I would now let my colleagues introduce Krishnan, Director of the ICC India office, to guide us through the rest of the session. Thank you. Produce, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
We have another remark, right? Yes, Panju, please.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Without much ado, let's welcome Mr. Rahul Kapoor, Director, Smart Cities Mission of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India. Let's welcome Mr. Kapoor.
Thank you so much. And it indeed is a great opportunity to be presenting here at the Smart Cities Partnership to Twin Dialogue that has been set up today. And of course, just to talk about the various opportunities that the country of India has with regard to investment in this field of urban infrastructure. So we all know that India is one of the world's fastest growing economies. Currently, we are at $3 trillion US dollars, and with a GDP growth of close to around 9%, which has been estimated for this financial year. And one of the main constituents of this growth is the massive urbanization that is happening in the country today. So if you look at the statistics, although it may seem that we were 31% urban in the year 2011 as per the census, if you look at the way urbanization has been figures, so that has been adopted by China, so probably 58% urban. So depending on the definition, nonetheless, what is expected is that by 2030, we will have 40% of the urban population in India, and this would be a massive driver to the overall growth and investment opportunities that it would bring forth. And looking at this story, what the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has done is it has created several national level missions for urban development for sectors like housing for all, for cleanliness, for improving the urban livelihood opportunities for the citizens, for improving the water supply, sewerage, and solid waste management systems, improvement in the areas of urban transportation, be it the metros or newer technologies like Metro Light, and eventually the Smart Cities mission, which has been a flagship mission of the Government of India. The Smart Cities mission was supposed to be implemented in 100 cities, which were supposed to be lighthouse cities. And by lighthouses, the objective was that the projects that get deployed or developed in these cities would be demonstrable models that can be scaled up and replicated in all the 4,700 urban local bodies that are present in the country today. So with that objective, we have come a long way over the last 5 years. A total of $28 billion of investment that was envisaged in the Smart Cities mission. A lot of that is already in progress. But then there is a significant opportunity still awaiting, considering that there is a requirement of nearly $700 billion of investments required in 2021 to 2031. And considering that the amount of investments that is taking place in technology, in areas like integrated command and control centers that we have developed in the 100 smart cities. So today we have 75 smart cities that have got operational ICCCs. But then if you look at the kind of opportunities that these ICCCs have created, especially in response to pandemics like the COVID situation that hit us over the years, and how these integrated command and control centers basically became COVID war rooms. And right from prediction of the pandemic, the way the communication was being managed, the way we were basically doing the overall management between the various stakeholders and the resources. And I'm sure some of the cities that would be presenting today would be sharing some of their experiences with regard to pandemic management using their integrated command and control centers. And definitely that created a lot of scope and opportunity for other cities to also replicate and create similar kind of investment models within their own cities. So looking at that, a lot of impetus has also been there on public-private partnerships in the Smart Cities mission. So nearly 21% of the projects out of this $28 billion that we're looking at, so they are going to be implemented using public-private partnership as a model of development. So significant traction has been gained in this realm as well. So if we see the kind of investment opportunities that are going to be created henceforth with the Amrit 2.0 mission, that is an extension of the Amrit mission that was looking after water and wastewater management. And nearly $37 billion of investment is being planned in Amrit in the next 5 years. And you also have the cleanliness mission, which is the Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0, and nearly $40 billion of investment is being envisaged here. Even in the sector of urban mobility, wherein you have a number of metro projects getting implemented in 27 cities, and we had 5 cities to start with, but today 27 cities are currently implementing metro or metro projects similar to metro, and nearly 1,000 plus kilometers of projects are getting implemented as on date. So if we see the overall investment opportunities that are presented here in the Smart Cities mission, a mission that was very, very unique, being multi-sectoral in approach. So it was not one particular sector that the mission was focusing on. We had a diversity of sectors like energy, like mobility, like water management, urban governance, heritage redevelopment, any sector that you can think of that was being covered as part of the mission. How cities went about with their project was very, very context specific to their local requirements. By the way, they designed their plan, and nearly more than 5,000 projects that were initially undertaken as part of this mission and that are getting implemented today are cutting across all these sectors. And the way the progress that we have seen, the kind of demonstrable and replicable models, the kind of success stories that they have created. So infrastructure is just one component of the smart cities mission. The kind of investment that was taking place in infrastructure also meant that we need to assess or measure the kind of outcomes that these projects are going to achieve, or the impact that they would have in the quality of life of the people. So looking at that, the several softer elements or enabling measures have also been taken by the smart cities mission in the areas of data-driven governance, in the areas of capacity building of our cities and urban stakeholders, and in the area of fostering of innovation, so as to have more innovative solutions to be able to do more from less. So looking at that, initiatives like the Data Smart City Strategy or National Urban Digital Mission that the ministry has initiated recently, or initiatives on the urban learning platform that we have tried to create, or a data exchange layer that we're trying to build, they all go a long way in creating the right kind of enabling environment that would catalyze this urban transformation journey for India, that would help us achieve the sustainable development goals that we have set out through these various urban initiatives. And here we look forward to collaboration with the right kind of global partners, industry partners, academic institutions in India and globally. So we would look forward to having more such collaborations between India and Taiwan in the smart city arena and the other sectors that we talked about. And we are very, very open to invite Taiwanese agencies, the industry, the academic institution, the technology providers to join hands with us. So it is a land of immense opportunities when you are looking at the technology market that is there and the investment that this sector requires in there. And we would be very, very open to interact with you and take this dialogue further. There is also a dedicated ministry that, or a dedicated desk that is handling this, which is the India Investment Grid under one of our ministries in the government of India. So they would be here. You can probably visit their portal and take a look at the kind of projects that are available for investment. We would definitely connect you to the right kind of partners and handhold you there, including the city governments, including the governments at the national level or the state level. So looking forward to such collaborations in the future. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. It was indeed a crisp of the vastness, the depth, and he spoke about many options wherein definitely the Taiwan technology provider can look at engaging with the scheme. So considering this, I feel like I would request Dr. Lee, would it be a good platform to extend an invite to Mr. Kapoor, probably to lead a delegation to Taiwan, and especially when we have the Smart City Expo, so that some of the the solutions, the technology-driven solutions, can be felt and seen physically. Wouldn't it be right, Dr. Lee?
Yes, I think that's for sure. We will officially invite Mr. Kapoor to, lead the delegation to Taiwan. We hope to see you next March. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. I would be looking forward to the invitation and would like to see you in person. Of course, the pandemic has been a difficult year for all of us. And of course, yes, we have had the opportunity to interact virtually, but I think nothing substitutes a face-to-face meeting, and virtual definitely be a supplement to that. But a physical meeting would definitely be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kapoor, and thank you, Dr. Lee. So this concludes our opening remarks part. So before we dive into the next session, we would like to invite all our speakers to take 2 quick group photos together. So I request all the speakers to please switch on their video, and please smile into your camera when I count down to 1. So all the speakers, please switch on your camera. Mr. Sunny, yeah. Ms. Sanghamitra, you can also switch on your camera. I think it's reverse, like you need to.
I'm trying to work that out. I'll just keep it off for the time being.
Sure, not an issue. Okay. So here I count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. For the next one, please give us a thumbs up. So here I count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. We appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
Without further ado, let's move to our next session of expert presentations. As a reminder for our audience, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions during the presentation, please type them on the live chat. We will try to bring them up to the speakers, if not during this session, but at least later for us to take up and consider. So let's now welcome Mr. Debashish Sen, Chairman, New Town Kolkata Development Authority, to speak on the New Town Kolkata City practice and case studies. Mr. Sen, please. Mr. Sen, you are on mute.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Lee, Premjit, Rahul Kapoor, and all the other speakers. It's a very bright morning here in Kolkata, and what a wonderful time to build bridges with Taiwan. We, as Mr. Kapoor has already explained, the overall macro framework of the smart city mission and how technology is being harnessed to improve the condition of the urban people. I will dive straight into the case studies and just try to say that we are trying here in New Town, Kolkata, smart city. We are trying to, our overall objective is to have a sustainable development, and our overall objective is to have the better use of technology for everybody, young and old. So with this, I have a brief presentation to share. And next slide, please. So New Town Kolkata is a satellite city of Kolkata, and it is about 30 square kilometers in area. We call it, its age is, it is only 14 years old, still evolving. It has got a target population of 1 million, but right now the population is around 62,000. And it is not only a city for staying, it is a city for economic activity, educational, fintech hub, Silicon Valley tech hub, and also health hub, along with residences, co-working spaces, and a lot of very, very planned urban development. We have many epithets. One, of course, is we are a certified green city, certified by the IGBC as one of the 5 cities of India to be so certified. We are a cycle-friendly city. We are a happy city. Yes, you heard that right. With IIT Kharagpur, we have subjected ourselves to a 3-year scrutiny and have been termed as a happy city with a certain scope. And we are also a solar city with a target to reduce the dependence on the fossil fuels. So we are working at various levels to try and make New Town Kolkata a flagship city under the Smart City mission in Bengal and India. Next. In the field of mobility, we are very proud about having, like the Ola and Uber apps, cabs. We are having apps driven bicycles. We have 18 kilometers of cycle tracks, and we used it very, very forcefully during the COVID pandemic. We tried to argue with the people that bikes, shared cabs, public transportation, and even the 3-wheeler e-rickshaws and autos are bad for the pandemic. Cycle instead wherever you can. Since everybody in tall towers in Newtown, we have very tall towers, cannot have a cycle, so we got this cycle apps, public bicycle shared scheme under the smart city, and it's proving to be very, very popular along with the cycle tracks. We are also having smart bus stands. The smart is not only in terms of designing, it's very ultra modern and chic, but we also have created a small food shop or kiosk within the bus stand. And the figure on the top left hand corner, where the man is standing in the right side of the photograph, behind him is the kiosk where you get samosas and tea, and he makes brisk business. So along with the bus stand, we have created an employment per bus stand, and also he's keeping an eye as a security guard. So instead of employing a security guard and paying him, I've put a person who is earning and making an earning, serving the people, and I think it's a very smart kind of intervention. I am very proud of it. Smart parking and smart cycle stand. A brief word about the cycle stand. What is happening is that around Newtown there are villages from which people cycle down to the bus stop and go to the main Kolkata for work and come back in the evening. Their cycles used to be kept haphazardly, often got stolen. And here, under the glare of CCTV's brightly lit smart cycle stand, they are now very happy, and we have made their life, these migrant workers. This is not migration interstate, but within small distances from the to the main Kolkata city and coming back in construction works, in labor works, in security. And they put the bus over here, go back and come here. It's also doing a lot. So the shared bicycles for the middle class and affluent, the smart cycle for the worker class, and we are trying to look at every section of the society. Next, please. Yeah. So continuing on the green transportation, for the last 5 years, we are operating electric buses. Now, electric buses now are quite common, but in those days it was very rare. And I remember in 2012, I had been to UK, and we were looking, I and my minister, we were looking for solutions, but they didn't have air conditioned buses, electric buses, because it was not needed. And they say if I put an electric AC plant, the energy balance would be disturbed. So we shopped around, and in India only, from Bangalore and other places, we got this assembled. And right now, as I speak, 3 lakh people, 3 lakh passengers have been on the electric buses, only 3 electric buses that we run within the smart city. And to avoid the chicken and egg problem, we are putting in advance a large number of EV charging stations around the smart city in association with EESL and otherwise. And so we want to give a peace of mind to electric vehicle purchases that charging stations are everywhere. You just need to switch from the petrol car to the EV car. And what we are saying is that a lot of transition is happening. And a few days ago, we even had an EV carnival where people could ride EV vehicles and also take popcorn and ice creams with the family. Next. This is a continuation, except I'll only take a little bit. Solar benches and solar trees and solar lights are nothing very great, but we are using it in abundance. And right now, 1.2 megawatt hour peak of solar energy is now being produced in New Town, Kolkata. 1.2 megawatt. Land is very precious, so we are using it on rooftops and 10 side canal top solar. We are producing 1.5 megawatt, attempting to make this on canal tops, and it protects the canal, and it is producing solar energy, grid connected, and we are saving a lot of fossil fuels. Next. In terms of smart infrastructure, only one mention of the drones that we are using. Drones we are using for, this is the season for dengue and vector control. And wherever there is stagnant water, our teams go in and fog in. But before that, the advanced drone, it is almost like an army reconnaissance. The drone goes forward and tries to spot the possible places where there can be water stagnation, and the spray team on the ground, like the infantry, Air Force and infantry, together they make a formidable team. And right now I'm proud to say that in Newtown this season, there is not a single case of dengue that has happened. And this is one of the contributing factors I would like to say. Next. About smart waste management, I'll mention only one thing because I'm running out of time. That about the biomethanation plant, we are segregating waste, not fully. My estimation is about 70%. I've been able to be successful in urging people to make proper segregation of solid waste, and the wet waste that is fed to a biomethanation plant we see on the top right hand corner. This is being produced to produce methane, and that runs a diesel generator, and that runs about 100 street lights nearby for several hours in the evening. Of course, there is a grid power backup also, because when the waste, it is capable of 5 metric tons per day. Right now, we are able to achieve 3.5 metric ton of wet waste of the appropriate grade that can be digested, and several hours we are having electricity from the waste directly. And the zero shop, the right hand bottom, I'm also very happy with that. This is a measure of a very fine exhibition come a store of recycled products. We are urging people not to throw away their old clothes, not to throw away their old mobiles and electronics, but give it to us. We refurbish it, and like the Maruti Tuvalu used car market, we are trying to create a market in used clothes. And my favorite thing is that after all, from a supermarket, you also buy a faded torn jeans. So why not have it from here? We'll save several thousand liters of water and environment thing in a big way. It is gradually gaining kind of acceptance, and I'm happy to say that this zero shop of circular economy is gaining a lot of attention, and NGOs are coming to us and collaborating, and we are trying to make it a more sustainable in a more wider sense of the term. Next. This is only to say that we are bringing in through the smart city a degree of smart art and smart public art in routine matters. So if you see the bottom picture, this is nothing but a public Wi-Fi, a bench and a plaza. But look at that metal leaf kind of a thing. It is designed by IIT Kharagpur, and it just adds to the smart plaza where it is located, and people are very happy. We are very happy to give them a place to do work in the open, away from the confines of COVID possibility. In the open, there is laptop charging stations, there is open free Wi-Fi, and we are urging people to do work from home from Smart Plaza, which is essentially a small park with all the facilities that you have in an office. Next. Towards the last, it will not be proper for me to say that we have a target, like a zero waste target, like a zero carbon fossil target. We have a target of zero visitor to the smart city office or the municipal office, that is the NKDA, of which I am also the chairman. Our be online birth register to death register, and everything in between from birth to death, like mutation, plant processing, getting water connection, getting completion certificate, and getting vaccination, getting all the things, services that the NKDA provides. Everything should be available online, including property tax. We are doing this, and this has been proving very useful in reaching out to people in COVID times and non-COVID times. And for the elderly persons, we are having tax sathis or helpers who can go around. We pay, the resident or the citizen doesn't have to pay. NKDA pays for per case, on a per case basis, and people are very happy. For those who cannot do online, they can get help at their doorstep at no extra cost to them. Next. And two or three last points is that we are looking at co-working and co-living spaces. Co-working, a bit of it we showed in the Smart Plaza, and we are also making co-living. We don't want people to walk too much to work. So hostels and workplaces together, this is being built. It will be commissioned next year. And we are also having a tech hub and a fintech hub that is coming up to provide employability. It is a holistic plan to engage youngsters in education, in startups, in tech, in fintech, and also give them a place to stay nearby. So, and give them cycles to be connected and make money, and a lot of lifestyle options. Next. So, in conclusion, I would like to say that New Town Kolkata is shaping up in making the future of the next generation post-COVID normal, in which we need a lot of open spaces, we need a lot of cycles, we need a lot of fossil fuel-free modes of transportation, and we are changing urban designs, including compulsory rainwater harvesting and urban rooftop farming, in try to bring a holistic change in the behavior and adaptability of the citizens in making it a truly smart city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sen. That was really a great presentation and wonderful to see some of the technology adoptions in areas like smart mobility and reducing the carbon footprint and things like that. And I'm also happy to mention that this New Town Kolkata is the only smart city from India that's a member of the GoSmart initiative, about which Ms. Anita will be presenting later for this session. So, Mr. Sen, like in terms of the technology adoption, what will be one or two key concerns that you feel which technology can be effectively utilized to address? And do you see Taiwanese companies can engage with New Town Kolkata for the same? Like I also read that yesterday there was opening up of a community center, and you're also creating awareness in terms of reducing the the stubble and the biomass burning thing. So what will be the one or two key concern which you feel that technology can adopt for addressing it, and also like how the Taiwanese companies can engage with that? What is your opinion?
Well, we respect Taiwanese companies in terms of their electronic skills, and IoT is one area. It's a general area in which the urban development space needs a lot of inputs. One specific example I will give. We have already invited a hackathon in solving waterlogging and drainage problems in urban areas. Right now in Chennai, we all know what is happening. Too much of flooding, so much so that an investigation is going on. And in Kolkata also, last September, there was a lot of rain and people were really worried about the waterlogging problem. We are seeing that this is a matter of continuous monitoring of the underground network of drains, whether it is choked, whether the flaps are open, whether the drainage channels are there. And we would ideally want a lot of IoT devices and sensors all along, so that before anything happens, we are able to take a precautionary action. So this is one area. In fact, we have already called a hackathon from the startups, but that is neither here nor there. It will not lead to any real solution. We would look forward to drainage solutions and transportation solutions in the LRT space. That is, I did not mention it there because it is a little larger, but many areas of Newtown are not connected by the metro railway. So in these cases, we would want small options, pods or LRTs or elevated tramways to be there. If at all we are able to collaborate with Taiwanese companies, we'll move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Sen, for that. And may I also mention that if any of the panel speakers would like to add something or ask, they are free to do so. Next, we have Ms. Amanda Ye, Manager of Marketing and Public Relations of the Taipei Smart City Project Management Office, to present on the Taipei Smart City practice and case studies. Ms. Ye, please.
Host, can everyone hear my voice loudly and clearly?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, hello, I'm Amanda from Taipei Smart City Project Management Office. It's my pleasure to present our experience today. And Taipei City has an open attitude and is not afraid of accepting failure while facing innovation. We built Taipei City government as a platform and using the entire city as a living lab to test and embrace innovation. So for everyone's reference, I will just start with some some background. As the capital of Taiwan, Taipei City covers an average of the space about 270 square kilometers, and the population is around 4 million. We have very rich nutrients for developing smart city. For example, the convenient mass transportation for the system, and the high quality of talent, as well as the strong ICT industry's trend and solid infrastructures. These are all our nutrients. So what's our vision? The developed vision of Taipei Smart City is livable and sustainable. So through the promotion of Smart Taipei, we aim to achieve city diplomacy and the industrial globalization of our strong ICT along the whole way. And in order to develop Taipei as a sustainable and a livable city, the Department of Information Technology, Taipei City Government established Taipei Smart City Project Management Office in 2016 to develop and guide Taipei Smart City initiatives. So our objective is to bring in public participation and promote public and public-private partnership to introduce innovation. And by transforming the entire government as an open platform and using the entire city as a living lab, TPMO assists in opening up the public fields and also introducing creativeness from the private sectors. So to achieve these ends and objectives, we adopt two approaches. One is the top-down and the other is the bottom-up to conduct the proof of concept project within Taipei. And through this mechanism, we provide the opportunity for the private sectors to introduce their solutions. And also for city departments, they can try new solutions without providing budgets. And the proof of concept provide both sides, the private and the public, to showcase and test and verify the effectiveness of their solutions. So as everyone all knows, the innovation always comes with risks. And in the past, every penny the city government spent must be overseen by the city council, and therefore they are so afraid of being failure and very conservative. By providing the entire city and the POC concept, the city department received the POC demonstration free of charge, and it's like having the free sample in the supermarket. So they stop being afraid to pay something new but possibly wrong. The culture of being conservative, therefore, is changed, and the city government become more open-minded and to embrace innovation. So as you can see, the over past 5 years, we already facilitate more than 250 projects and engage in more than 30 city departments and more than 500 stakeholders. For Taipei Smart City, this is a dynamic process that have to be adjusted to the needs along the way and responsibly quickly to the needs of the citizen. So beginning in 2020 last year, we adjust our smart fields into 1+7 key fields drivers, including the smart buildings, the smart transportation and education, health, environment, security, economy, as well as the smart government as its core. And so within this 1+7 framework, we also set up the 1+7 steering groups for each field to accelerate the Taipei Smart City development. In each steering group, a hosting department from the city government is assigned, and the TPMO works very closely to cooperate with relevant departments. And the liaisons from TPMO serve as the secretary in each steering group to assist the cooperation. And their mission is to work closely with the city government and the department and the officials, as well as the private sectors so they can identify the innovation solutions for all the problems and make the most use of the PPP mechanism. So as mentioned, there are two approaches. One is top-down and the other one is the bottom-up for proposing POC solutions. And for top-down, conducting 1+7 small field solicitation, we conduct twice a year in May and November. It's a regular basis. And the government setting the problems for the private sectors to apply to solve these problems. It is conducted because in the past, the outcome is quite under expected. And so therefore in 2020, we conduct this new one, the government setting a problem for the private sectors to enhance the probability for them to match the solution with the city's needs, and also to increase the possibility for the private sectors for their new solutions become a new city policy. And for bottom up, the private sectors can submit their solutions anytime all year around. So what do we do after this POC project heading toward? The first one is we receive bottom-up POC or the top-down POC proposals and call for solutions twice a year. And the second stage is the pilot round. The relevant departments provide this very small-scale projects for procurement to prove the commercial feasibility of the pilot projects, which also known as the proof of service POS. And in the third stage, the relevant departments provide official level of project in procurement for those considerably relative mature solutions with potentials to be scaled up. So this stage is known as the proof of business POS. So in the past, almost 6 years in implementing and promoting Taipei Smart City, we have been honored and by high ranking on the two very important international smart city index. The first one is the Eden Strategy Institute from Singapore releases the government evaluation report of the top 50 smart cities. And we are very honored to be ranked out of 6, be ranked the 6th out of the 140 governments globally. And the other one is from the IMD Smart City Index. In 2021, we are ranked Taipei. We are ranked 4th among the 180 cities worldwide. And these are the award and recognition we are receiving in the past few years. That's for everyone's reference here. And so for the cases today, I will only pick up a few symbolic ones. Some of them are my successfully become policies, and some of them proving under expectations with unforeseen reasons, but further solutions are pretty much expected. And some can be reused in another scenarios, even their original result is quite poor. And also a case to work with the foreign company. And the first case is the smart education. This is a Taipei Cloud project for smart education. It is to practice the education equity and diminish the digital divide between students. It integrates the cloud learning resources and the daily network function for teachers, students, and parents. Currently, for the cloud learning resources, it has more than 10,000 online learning videos covering a total of 24 subjects from elementary school to high school. And we also signed the MOU with 15 other cities in Taiwan to provide the intercity resources and assistance as a platform. And the next one is the green transportation. Taipei's public transportation is considered the best in the country. And to achieve a high ratio for green transportation, we continue to implement policies such as expand the numbers of public share bicycle and rental station, promote share motorcycles services through PPP, or setting up electricity recharging facilities as a new town Kolkata city, and as well as the conduct matchmaking for shared parking spaces. These are all our policies for the green and shared transportation. And this is the very symbolic one, which is under expectation with foreseen reasons. We try more than 10 different solutions to test if smart parking can increase the efficiency and help the city to solve the parking problems. However, because the citizen will not proactively make a payment actually digitally, and so it would result in increase of the administration fee. Although the technology can support smart parking, but however, after the proof of concept, we realized that it's the behavior influences the conclusion and the result of these kind of projects. And this is another case for the LoRa one. LoRa is one of the communication technology. In the beginning, we have the POC to test the effectiveness of this one in city center, but we realized the signal will be blocked by the buildings and the concrete walls. So the result, the original result is quite poor. So to find another way, it finds another ground in the open area. For instance, it helps to improve the security network in Fatal Reservoir. Often requires a lot of manpower, time, and fund to handle the security surveillance and management of the facility parameters. So it helped to improve the smart security network in the reservoir. And this is another case strongly adored by our citizens. And in the waste management policy in Taipei, you can only dump your household trash while the trash trunk passing by on a regular basis. So if you miss the time, you need to wait until the next day. So when this solution provides a waste and recycling management station operating 24 hours every day, it suits the lifestyle of our citizens, and they won't create a terrible smell thanks to their specialized cooling system. And those working late citizens and finally don't need to catch the trash trunk, and they are able to clean their daily trash at any time. So this solution quickly got into the pilot stage, from 1 station expanding to 5 stations. And this is another case in collaboration with the Taipei City. And it's a French startup company uses IoT technology to monitor the vibration and the 3D demotion data of grid with precision. And the surveillance camera also collect the traffic flow and perform vehicles recognition data. To a foreign company to work with the Taipei Taipei City, they need to find a local partner. So a local partner will become the communication channel and help them to communicate with the department officials, or also to establish the hardware and the software in Taiwan. Another example is Taipei Big Data Center. It is centralized city administration data and convert the open data flows from 31 different departments of the city government. And through the data integration and analysis, it can provide city government officials suggestions for policy making in a broadened area and broadened views. And for pandemic control from the big data center collects all the citywide COVID-19 related center and create a visualized dashboard for the city officials. So they are able to use them as a reference to make the decision on resource allocation or risk assessment or the performance and tracking the pandemic prevention effort as well. So these are only a few cases from our 250 cases. But because of time limit, I will just focus on these cases. If you are interested in more cases, maybe you can address in the questions, and I can share more in the details. So here is the statistic over the past few years. You may notice from 2016 to 2018, we received lots of from bottom-up POC project, because by the time the mechanism focused on the private sectors, and they're so eager to demonstrate their new solutions to the city center. But quickly we found a problem from these kind of things, that those solutions are not exactly what the city needs. So as mentioned in previous slides, in 2020, we introduced 1+7 smart fields and introduced solicitation twice a year in May and in November to enhance the probability to match the solutions with city needs and the possibility of a new solution become city policy. So over the past few years, we already cooperate a lot with a lot of foreign cities, such as a lot from the Europe and the North America, as well as from the Asia. And we are also very welcome any cities from India to look for the cooperation. Thank you. Here's my presentation. If you have any questions, you're very welcome to address that.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Amanda. It was really an eye-opener in terms of how technology is being implemented in Taipei City. And I was eagerly looking at, like we all read in media, that the effective management of COVID pandemic in Taiwan. So can you please elaborate on that, like how smart city development helped Taipei City in mitigating the COVID spread and public health related issues?
Yes. For Taipei City, when we mention the digitalization, there are two driving forces. One is the data-driven governance, and the other one is the embracing the innovation. So the data-driven governance is related to what I just mentioned, the big data center. And the other one is the embracing the innovation, the responsibility. One is the TPMO from the Taipei Smart City Project Manager Office. So from the policy side of view, the data-driven governance, that to solve the COVID-19 related public affairs, they collect the data from all the 31 departments, and they can analyze the data and provide a more detailed analysis for the city governments. So they can make the policy based on the research and the analysis. For example, the COVID-19 related dashboard show them the density and the risk area. And for the Taipei Smart City, if there are any private sectors, they have any new technology solutions related to the COVID-19. For example, we have the disinfection robots in Taipei City Hall, or we have the transport robots to help to decrease the infection in hospitals, or we have other kind of POC project. They can all bring to TPMO, then we can help them to find the related departments and to implement the POC project. And for the Taipei City government to manage or to prevent the COVID-19 situation, there are also another application which we use a lot. It's called Taipei Pass. It's a one portal application on our mobile, and it integrate all the Taipei City public service. And you can download a lot of information. You can reserve your vaccine, getting when to get in vaccination as well. And you can also find a lot of coupons to stimulate the local economy, which is so affected by the COVID-19. And you can also scan the QR code to get into all kinds of venues, or the private or the restaurants, to track the kind of pandemic control. So these all kinds of things is under these two driving force, and one is from the data-driven governance side of view, and the other one is different smart fields that you can implement to executive a lot of application for COVID-19. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I think in a way, even in India, like the COVID pandemic situation as well as the lockdown has really boosted some of the technology adoption, in terms of, we also had in many of the smart city had the centralized the data center with we call it as a war room in terms of mitigating the situations. Even we experienced experimented the drone in terms of delivering the medicines. And when the vaccination came, like we all had a wonderful app with which the entire nation has controlled the vaccination effectively. So thank you, Ms. Amanda, for sharing that. Now we have Mr. Sunny Kapoor, Principal Consultant, Technology Consulting from PwC, to make his presentation on the Indian smart city development, especially with the case study from Prayagraj Smart City. Mr. Kapoor, please.
Thank you, Mr. Premjit. I hope my presentation is visible to everyone.
Yeah, you can make it in. Yeah, fine.
So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to come on this forum and discuss about the Prayagraj Smart City. And I would like to thank and congratulate the other industry colleagues, respected dignitaries, to discuss about the various interventions and innovations being adopted under Smart City mission at the national level, which have been discussed by Rahul Kapoor sir and Sain sir from New Kolkata town. So we have already discussed about the smart city mission journey in India. It was started in 2015 with 100 cities being selected for undertaking technology interventions as well as infrastructure development to provide core infrastructure services in terms of decent quality of life to the citizens, and to implement smart solutions which can help the citizens as well as the the district level government in managing the law and order situation, providing environment monitoring systems, providing data to take decisions, raising the situation awareness. And I would like to highlight that these 100 cities is contributing to around 31% of the national population, and which contributes to around 63% of the India's overall GDP. So I would not talk much about smart city as it was already highlighted earlier. I would like to discuss about Prayagraj Smart City. Why Prayagraj is means PwC India is working with more than 30 smart cities, but we have taken Prayagraj Smart City here because Prayagraj is the only city in India which caters to a population of around 2 crores in a month every year, because Prayagraj is known for as a Sangam city where the Sangam of three rivers is being happen since ages. So when we talk about Prayagraj Smart City was selected in Smart City Mission in third round in 2017. In the same year, the special purpose vehicle has been formed to undertake the intervention for Smart City, and in 2018 the integrated command and control center project has gone live, because in 2019 the city has to host Kumbh Mela, which has catered to more than 24 crores of pilgrims across the world, across the nation, and the entire there are n number of interventions that has been implemented to cater to the Kumbh Mela as well as to the smart cities. So when we talk about Prayagraj as a city, it caters to a population of 15 lakhs, and the total area of the city is somewhere around 300 plus square kilometers. Uh, if you see the slide, this is the Integrated Command and Control Center, which was launched by Honorable Prime Minister in 2018 for managing the Kumbh Mela in 2019, and using the technology interventions which have been implemented under Prayagraj Smart City. The Prayagraj District Administration, as well as the Mela Authority, as well as the government of Uttar Pradesh, was able to cater to a pilgrims of more than 24 crores in a time span of 50 days. And there are n number of interventions which were implemented as part of this project. Few of the interventions I would like to discuss today, and what was the impact being created during the Kumbh Mela for the smart cities, as well as the recent pandemic thing. So when we talk about Prayagraj as a smart city, there are several interventions with respect to the safety and security. When we talk about city surveillance, the Prayagraj smart city has installed an approximately 1,000 plus cameras catering to 250 plus locations. From a traffic perspective, Prayagraj smart city has adopted technology interventions where adapted traffic control system based traffic signals are being installed across 40 critical junctions, and to have a awareness across the citizens about the various guidelines of government initiatives, or the do's and don'ts, or what are the things that citizens should follow during the pandemic. We have installed variable message display boards across 40 odd locations. Then from a traffic perspective, to ensure that there should be a discipline being adhered within the city, the traffic signals are equipped with red light violation detection cameras as well, so that a discipline can be adhered. And from an environment perspective, there are several initiatives. First one is the solid waste management, where an end-to-end solid waste management has been implemented, which caters to the requirement from a primary collection, which involves door-to-door collection, then collection from bulk generators or the key specific areas, then transportation of those garbage from primary collection centers to secondary collection centers, then to the processing slide. So the entire end-to-end journey, I would say, the ecosystem from collection to transportation to the processing. The entire life cycle of solid waste management is being captured by through IoT and technology interventions. And to cater to have the video feeds and data feeds of these technology interventions, Prayagraj Smart City has developed two command and control centers, one for the specific for the police operation, another one to cater to the smart city other services like solid waste management, then utility services, traffic management, and specifically for Kumbh Mela and Magh Mela. So Magh Mela is a annual religious event being occurred in January to Feb for 30 days, and it caters to a normal kind of population to around 2 crore plus population in 1 month. And when we talk about the COVID-19, during the COVID-19, the authority had decided that they would be installing a public address system across 200 plus locations so that they can disseminate the required information with respect to the do's and don'ts from a pandemic perspective. Also, the authority has decided to equip their police officials with a body worn camera so that they can capture the live feeds of the human behavior or the COVID violators. And along with that, Smart City has integrated with UP 112 and equipped their UP 112 four-wheelers, emergency response vehicles with a surveillance thing. So now I would like to discuss about what were the key impacts being created because of these technology interventions, technology adoptions across the Prayagraj Smart City. The first one is the improved law and order situation. So the project has gone live in December 2018. During the first 3 months, the command and control center has catered to the law and order situation to manage the traffic, to manage the crowd during the Kumbh Mela. So they were viewing all the video feeds from the command and control center. They were executing the relevant SOPs. They were detouring the pilgrims from to avoid any kind of mishappening or crisis or things. Then when we talk after Kumbh Mela, if we see about the numbers in last 2 years, approximately 700 plus cases has been resolved with the help of ICCC, which is approximately 20 to 25 number of cases are being resolved with help of ICCC every month. So that's a very big number. And if you will see the other crime details, like from a rape or root or murder perspective, there is a substantial decrease in these crime events over the period. Then from a citizen awareness perspective, since for last 2 years pandemic is going on and citizens should know what they should do, what they should not do, what are the things they should consider while doing their day-to-day activities. So Prayagraj Smart City has utilized their 40 variable message displays installed across the city to provide necessary information. And these messages information were related to COVID-19 or advisory guidance from Nagar Nigam or police department or traffic police. Then from an environment perspective, since providing a sustainable, developing a sustainable city is one of the key aims of Smart City mission. The Smart City has environmental sensors installed across 40 odd locations. So by having the real-time data, the Nagar Nigam, the health department, and the other stakeholder department can execute the relevant SOPs if they found that in a particular area the AQI is not as per the prescribed limit, is not within the prescribed limit. So they are deploying the water sprinklers tanks to reduce the pollution level, and they are also undertaking other precautions and proactive measures so that they can reduce the health events and incidents in that particular area. When we talk about COVID-19, as Rahul sir highlighted, ICCC has been implemented across 75 plus cities in India, and across all these 75 cities, the ICCC has been repurposed. Has repurposed their objectives to manage the entire COVID management, converting their ICCC into COVID war room. Similarly, Prayagraj has also leveraged their infrastructure to convert the ICCC into COVID war room, and they have converted their smart city helpline, that is 1920, into a COVID relief helpline. Through that, they were helping the citizens with COVID-19 awareness calls, what should be the do's and don'ts. They were helping the people with food and ration supplies. They were helping the citizens on advisory from a medical perspective, or delivering the medical pharmaceutical medicines and other related services like utility, plumber and all. From a technology perspective, the cameras which were installed as part of Smart City were equipped with additional artificial intelligence based analytics, so that they can detect the violation with respect to the social distancing. They can detect the violation with respect to the violators who were not wearing masks, or they can detect the violators coming outside of the containment zones. And since we have VMDs installed across the city, the same mediums were used for dissemination of information across the citizens for COVID-19 do's and don'ts issued by Government of India. The second very good thing that has been implemented is leveraging the technology, the ICCC, in identifying the containment zones through use of GIS, through use of physical surveys. And if you could see this slide, the ICCC has contributed in identification of the containment zones. The city authorities were helped by identifying the containment zones, what are areas, nearby areas should be focused upon, what is the rate of increasing COVID cases in a particular area, what all medical services need to be done, or what all sanitation services need to be planned. So they have used the entire the data dashboards, which is being represented in the command and control center, to contain the COVID-19 pandemic in the second wave. And if you could see this slide, so when we talk about the second wave of second wave of pandemic in India, from April 1 to April 15, in Prayagraj, there was an daily increment of 25 to 50 cases on a daily basis. If you could see this numbers, this containment zone intervention and the heat map analysis being performed by the city administration through the ICCC. And in next 5 days, we have identified what are the containment zones, what are SOPs need to be executed, and what are the related area which should be focused, because they are on high risk prone areas. And in next 15 days, we were able to reduce the total COVID-19 cases at a rate of more than 10 times. So if you could see on 15th of 16th of April, the cases were somewhere around 1500 plus in a particular day. And when we see on 15th of May, the cases has been reduced to 90 in a particular day. So in this way, Prayagraj Smart City, along with the technology interventions and adoption, they have helped the Government of India obviously the Government of Uttar Pradesh to controlling the crisis management during the pandemic. And if we talk about the future opportunities from a technology adoption perspective, in 2020-25, Prayagraj is going to host Mahakumbh Mela that happens every 12 years. And if you can see the numbers of Earth Kumbh Mela of 2019, where 24 crore plus people has visited during the 50 days event, the city administration has already started planning to undertake the required interventions from a infrastructure perspective as well as from a technology perspective as well, so that they are expecting a population of somewhere around 35 to 40 crore people visiting in 2025. Considering if we get through with this pandemic. So there are a lot of opportunities in Prayagraj from a technology adoption perspective, and there are few ongoing initiatives with respect to the smart education or advanced surveillance, since the municipal area has been increased. So the authorities are open for discussion on that. Thank you from my end. I'm open for discussions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sunny Kapoor. That was quite wonderful. And it's one of the key thing when it comes to the smart city management in India is the size of the population. Like you were mentioning about that a city like Prayagraj having around 20 million population. And when it comes to the special occasions like the Mahakumbh Mela, the largest religious congregation which happens in the city, wherein another 240 million people from other locations move into the city in terms of participating in this auspicious religious congregation, and it'll be quite tough for the city authority to manage that. But from the technology perspective, how do you see that the smart city is helping in tech adoption among the common public? Like how the public is taking some of the or accepting some of the technologies in terms of agreeing with the standards or the terms set by the authorities.
So when we talk about the technology adoption by the citizens of Prayagraj Smart City, I would like to highlight that the citizens of Prayagraj are very tech savvy. They are using their mobile devices to access the G2C services being provided by the Prayagraj Smart City government as well as the government of UP. If I name few of them, these services, the citizens of the city are able to pay the utility bills. They can have the details of their property tax on their mobile phones. Then they are able to register any grievance with respect to the solid waste management or a utility perspective from a water or sewerage perspective or street light perspective. Apart from that, since smart city is already working in smart education during the pandemic, the smart city has helped to convert their government schools and government aided schools with a smart education infrastructure, and the students as well as the parents have adopted technology interventions and are you leveraging the platform being extended under smart education project to have a learning thing as well as to coordinate and communicate with the government school holders. And in near future, based on the response that we have received from the mobile app that Prayagraj Smart City has developed, that is One City One app, the municipal corporation of Prayagraj, with help of Prayagraj Smart City, is planning to have uh, citizen-centric services with respect to horticulture, ERP, and other e-gov services which are being implemented in Chandigarh, Kolkata Municipal Corporation, and other municipal corporations across the city.
Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. So in a way that the mobile handsets are really transforming the way the smart cities are, getting, accepted by the common public. Thank you, Mr. Kapoor, for that, wonderful sharing that wonderful experiences and insights. Next, we have Mr. Sam Shen, the regional head of the Smart City Promotion Team of TCA, to present on the Taiwan Smart City Development. Mr. Shen, please.
Smart City Promotion Team. And it's my pleasure to join today's event and to introduce the Smart City Development in Taiwan. About the TCA, that we are the Taipei Computer Association. We are the biggest industrial association in Taiwan, with over 4,000 corporate members that contribute 80% of the ICT values in Taiwan. That TCA has been the most important promoter and the contributor for the ICT industry in Taiwan for the past 40 years. And we are still looking for any possibility and the digital transformation in the future. And we are also the organizer for the international events for the global participants and our members to find their business opportunities in our events such as Computex, Taipei Game Show, and the Smart City Summit Expo. And TCA also provides the services across the different sectors, including the business marketing, legal consultancy, and the training courses. As for the consumer, we also provide IT skills certification and educational programs. And for the most important services, is that TCA will try to negotiate the government to give advice for the policy making and to help to promote the ICT industry in Taiwan. So actually that TCA is one of the communication key players between the public and private sectors. So today for my presentation, I will talk about the overview of the smart city development in Taiwan and also the perspectives from the government and industry and some successful cases from Taiwan and the brief introduction of the Smart City Summit Expo. Okay, the first concept of the smart city it was by the idea of the smart planet by IBM in 2008, because the smart city is a total solution for all the urban problems. And but smart city development takes a lot of effort and time. So with the past few years, countries around the world took the actions to make their city smarter, like building the infrastructure, facilitating the digital transformation, creating eco-friendly industry, and also kickstart some kind of smart city projects. So as we know that India also has a national smart city mission that includes 100 cities to make them smarter. So the Taiwan also joined this global trend of smart city in 2013. So we took the quick actions with our good strength with the ICT background. So we took the quick actions and made a great improvement to become one of the smartest cities in the world. Okay, the first step is that we supported by the national policy. The concept of Smart Taiwan was proposed by the National Development Council a few years ago, and which take the intelligence as the core to construct the smart infrastructure, creative technological services, and other digital transformation that can help Taiwan to achieve the vision of the Smart Taiwan. So the next year, the Ministry of the Digital Development will be established, which could be seen as one of our determination and our ambitions to be the Smart Taiwan in the future. So in the slides, you can see that President Tsai also gave the opening remark in the Smart City Summit Expo this year to talk about the vision and the future strategy in the smart city development. Okay, with the fully supported by the national policies, that the local city also follow the actions. As you can see, some of the smart city project was driven by the cities from Taiwan. So with the different industry features listed here, the most cities in Taiwan are devoted to integrating smart solutions and strategy into their urban planning, and to have some of the many cities has been recognized by the international organizations or communities. So for example, the Taipei established the Taipei Project Manager Office. We just learned some amazing project and strategy from Ms. From Ms. Amanda from her presentation. And for one of our organizers, the Taoyuan City, they also dedicate to becoming not just the smart city, but also the sustainable city. And also because the national airport is located in Taoyuan as well, so the Electropolis project is also the important development for Taoyuan City to active the suburbs area around the airport. And for our another organizers, Kaohsiung City, that they also established the Innovation Center with the biggest POC project in Taiwan called 5G IoT Innovation Hub in Asia New Belt area. Since Kaohsiung has always been one of the most important hubs in Asia, so we believe with this innovation center that they can transform into a new smart industrial area and to bring more business opportunities to the local companies, and the most importantly, to create a better life quality for the citizens. And the most essential elements for smart city development is the technology. It can be done without the cooperation and the coordination between the government and the industry. So the incentives for the companies are to have the benefits and to also have the actual profit from the markets. So as we see that Smart City project has a lot of different cooperations, and it provides a wide range of business opportunities for different kind of business. So in this slide, you can see that in recent years, the growth of Taiwan IoT industry goes up rapidly. It is expected to reach 5% of the global market since this year, and with over 15% growth in electronic exports. So with this kind of advantage in supply chain and a complete ecosystem, that Taiwan can actually attract the global key players to set up their bases here, like the Microsoft, Qualcomm, and Google. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, that the cities in Taiwan are looking for the local and the international partners. So we do believe with these huge demands, all kinds of global solution provider can find potential working partners in Taiwan. And also with our experiences and our ICT strength, Taiwan can also be the solution provider for the world. Okay, and here are some successful cases in Taiwan. For example, The first is the smart agriculture with the IoT and AI management system. The Chunghwa Telecom is one of our biggest telecom operators in Taiwan, and they offers a total solution integrated with the farming sensor, MB-IoT, and the agriculture management platform. The Chunghwa Telecom proprietary agriculture management platform with the data analyst models and the domain knowledge allows the farmers to obtain the real-time information. And it can achieve better management of fields and precise farming through reducing the workloads, the risk, and also the cost. So as you can see that the solutions also use the solar power 4G camera to analyze the environment and collect the real-time data to provide precise information to the farmer, such as the weather, soil, and the environmental data. As I mentioned, that Taiwan can also be the solution provider for the world. And here is one of the successful cases from Taiwan to Thailand. So the Thai AOI has launched for security solutions to leverage the operational efficiency and reduce the cost over deploying huge manpower for patrolling and maintaining site safety. So the Taiwanese companies implemented the AI face recognition system to collaborate with the mainline surveillance camera. And they offered a total solutions of the Macy surveillance deployment that consists of the 1,500 cameras under the Macy surveillance and with the control platform for the centralized management. And the result went successfully. As you can see that they reduced the 30% of the manpower, 90% of time of the inspection and video search, and 20% of the cost in the hardware constructions. And now the other cities from Southeast Asia are also looking for some kind of related solutions to solve their city problems. So we are now looking for any working partners to work with Taiwan as well. So we still have a lot of successful cases to share. So all the online delegates, you can scan the QR code or visit our smartcityonline.org.tw to discover over 400 of the smart city solutions. And some of the collaborations were initiated during the Smart City Summit and Expo. And it's also my pleasure to have the pre-introduction of the Smart City Summit and Expo in next year. So we also welcome all the online delegates today and join our event, no matter it's online or in the physical event next year. So the next year, Smart City Summit Expo will be held from March 22nd to 25th in Taipei, and a professional hybrid event for the Smart City. So about the Smart City Summit Expo, we are the B2B oriented expo featuring a lot of different smart city solutions. As I mentioned that the smart city has a various industry get involved with, so we create a cross-industry platform for our exhibitors, global participants to find their potential working partners. With the past 8 years efforts, now the Smart City Summit Expo has become the biggest smart city trade show in Asia, and that all thanks to all the support to our exhibitors and global participants. So this is the overview of the Smart City Summit Expo. For physical events, that as you can see that we have the co-located expo tailored with the different industries such as healthcare, transportation, sustainability, surveillance, and the startups. And also the forum is one of our important platforms to exchange ideas with professionals. And also our with all these activities, our ultimate goal is to create a networking opportunities for our participants. And due to the pandemic, that we also created an online platform for our exhibitors to display their solutions and also provide a live streaming webinar on B2b Matchmaking services system. And here is the result of this year's event. As you can see that despite the pandemic, we still attracted over 80,000 visitors in our physical event. And we also reached out to over 200,000 views on our Smart City Online. And as for the city participations, we have nearly 140 city leaders from 62 cities across 35 countries. So with the more and more government sectors join our event, so we are now not just the only B2B event, but we are also the G2G or even G2B, the networking events. And also for the support from our exhibitors, that this year we have 1,000 booths with over 200 companies and created over 420 sessions in this year's event. One of our most significant G2G events called the Mayor Summit, that we invite city leaders around the world to share their experiences and the vision of smart city. And this year we have 25 city leaders to focus on the topic of the smart city on the path to the new normal to discuss the impact of the COVID-19 and how to use the technology to control the pandemic effectively. And as you can see that we have another G2G event called City Talk that is focused on the more detailed city administration from the different city departments. And this year we invite 17 government officials to talk about the topic of innovation and e-governance. So here is the GDG network of this year's event. So we do hope with this great opportunity, all the online delegates, no matter from public or private sectors, can be all partnered in this our event in the future. So from our past edition, we have invited 97 delegates from government and business sectors. And again, we do believe that we can invite all the online delegates to join our event in the Smart City Summit Expo in next year. As for the B2B event, we have also organized 3 different conferences for the telecom operators, system integrators, and the Sustainable City Forum. Of course, the smart city is not just about high tech, but also being sustainable. So we welcome all the professionals around the world to join the conference to exchange ideas, and the most importantly, to find the potential working partners. As I mentioned, that our ultimate goal is to create business opportunities for all the participants to make them feel the possibility to the event. So that the matchmaking and the networking are also our most important services. So this year we have organized 86 government and business webinars with 8 countries. And for the matchmaking, as you can see that you can also join the one-on-one or other specific topic in the group matchmaking sessions. So now with the full support from the city governments, that as you can see that Taipei, Taoyuan, and Kaohsiung is also one of our organizers. So with this strength and the full support from the Kaohsiung city government, that next year we were excited to have the debut version of the Smart City Summit Expo in Kaohsiung as well. So we welcome all the other delegates can join our event, not just only in Taipei, but also in Kaohsiung next year from March 24 to 26. So now we're looking for all the exhibitors, government and business delegations, speakers to join our event next year. So this is my pleasure to join today's event. And if you have any questions or want to know more detailed information, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shen, for that wonderful presentation. And we hope that this time we would get more than 97. We anyway in the opening ceremony, Dr. Lee had formally invited Mr. Rahul Kapoor to probably lead a delegation from India. So we hope that we would get more speakers, participants from India for this year's Smart City Expo. Thank you, Mr. Shen, for that. Now moving on, we have come to the last presentation, but as we always say, last but not the least, we have Ms. Anita Chen, the Deputy Secretary General of GoSmart, to present on how to connect international partners for the proof of concept program. So over to you, Ms. Anita, now.
Thank you. So hello, good afternoon, audience. And I'm Anita, the Deputy Secretary General of GoSmart. So as you can see, that global organization of Smart City is the platform, and it's just established 2 years ago. So it's still really young platform. So this platform has 2 purposes. One is to try to facilitate as many as intercity POC as we can. So we believe that this kind of model can really facilitate the city and make it smarter. The other way that we know that we cannot engage and facilitate all the project in the world. So we are trying to discover or encourage this kind of project in our way. So we have the annual GoSmart Award. So here you can see that what is GoSmart and what is the component of GoSmart. You can see that we have 3 kinds of members: industry members, city members, and NPO members. And like we mentioned that we have only 1 city members in India, which is New Town Kolkata, which is our honor, but we expect even more. And for city members, not only the cities in Taiwan, we also have cities from not India only, but also have Australia, United States, Czech Republic, Netherlands, and Japan. And for industry members, I have to say that most of them are from Taiwan, since we are more recognized in Taiwan, but we also have a lot, like 1/3 of them from non-Taiwan, like US or Bangladesh, Malaysia, and the UK, France. So we welcome this corporation to join this platform. So what we try to do is to engage all the stakeholders of Smart City so they can work together. We can find a demander and we can find a solution provider through this platform. So far, we have 211 members here, and Taipei City, the capital of Taiwan, serve as the chair of GoSmart, and TCA, Taipei Computer Association, as the serve as the secretary of GoSmart. We also try to link up a lot of strategic partners in the world, because the linkage with these partners can become the resources we provide to our members. For example, like you can see LGA2, which is an organization combined with 77 consuls in Queensland, Australia. So with this connection, if one of our industry members, they want to open their overseas market to Australia, we can help them to link up with the city government there. And maybe not directly work with the city government, but we can help them to find a local partner there, and maybe even the institution there, so they can have long-term cooperation there. So you can see that we have partners in Hungary and also Singapore, Switzerland, Japan, and South Korea, etc. So we expect more partners in the world. Here you can see that what GoSmart try to offer to our members. For cities, we try to offer that the first one is case study, because we know that city always keen to learn more about others, what others are doing, and we want to learn something good and bring it back to our city. So in this platform, we can learn a lot of case study here. And the second one, cover solutions. For example, like you mentioned that there's a lot of smart city solution demand from India, since we have 100 cities want to become smarter. So here is a platform that you can call for solution provider to GoSmart. And we also co-organize events with cities, so they can get more audience and participants through this platform. We also promote cities' achievement. And it's not only just try to show off, but also that the effort from the city government need to be recognized, and they also need to be encouraged. They need to be understood by their citizens that, okay, the government is doing this effort. So that's what we try to do for our city members. For industries, what we try to do is that the first one, most important, if they have good solutions, we want to help them to promote it. We do the marketing for them. The second one, that we help them to find potential partners, maybe from industry, maybe from institute, or directly work with city government. The third one is that we help them to link up with the city engagement, maybe through embassy, maybe through city councils or different agency from department. So here are some tasks we are doing here, and you can see we have the reports, and we have matchmaking, workshop, award, exhibitions, and international events. So I'm gonna tell you something that we are doing in the whole year, that when the pandemic was not out, that we did a lot of workshops. So when we participate the expo in Barcelona 2 years ago, that we had a workshop there. That's a way that helped us to engage with other international organizations. So we learn more about what they're doing, and we got more connection with them. And also that we had the first online workshops after since the pandemic break out. So you can see that the most the special tip about this workshop is that we are not only have the industry speakers, they come here to provide their solution, but also we have the demander from cities and the government. So they share that what's the problem they are facing, and what's the plan they are trying to make. So this in this platform, that the demander and the provider, they meet each other, and the cooperation become more possible. That's what we try to do. So here are some events we're doing, and but that's not, and this one is for B2b matchmaking, because we realize that it's sometimes difficult for directly to facilitate industry to work with cities directly. So what we can do is that, okay, maybe we help them to find another corporate partner first, so they can team up and they can get the total solution, and they can propose to the city government. That will be easier. So in this way that we do B2B matchmaking. So for example, at the left side, you can see the smart lighting. Anyang is a smart lighting company, SI company, and FlashNet is a SI company as well in Europe. So in this way that they are more complementary, and they can share the market channel. The Anyang more focus on Asia, and the FlashNet focus on European markets. So on the right side, you can see the topic is about renewable energy. So O-Ring and Matrix are GoSmart members. O-Ring is from Taiwan and Matrix is from Spain. So these two companies, what they are doing is to do the power management. So they can help the Solar Pro and Windcraft. These two companies, they are doing solar power and wind power to help them to manage the power they operate to more sufficiently. So that's what we are trying to help them to help each other to engage and cooperate. So in this way, in other way that we also help our members to, like I say, that we promote their great solutions in a lot of events. So the global exposures. And I also mentioned that we have GoSmart Award. That's something that help us to learn a lot about the great case in the world. So this year that we are honored to have 5 excellent and brilliant jury for us. And you can see Dr. Chen Li, he is also the Secretary General of GoSmart. And we also have the Frans Anton from Amsterdam Smart City, and Amsterdam from Netherlands actually is kind of role model of smart city. I mean, when we talk about the smart city in the world, Amsterdam is some city that you cannot miss. We also have the Eden Strategy Institute representative and the IMD president. So IMD, they launch the smart city ranking every year. So like Amanda mentioned that Taipei was ranked number 4, which is a good recognition. And we also eager to know that what are they thinking with this project, and when they evaluate the project, that what kind of suggestion they can provide as well. So we are happy to announce that this year that we after the deadline, we received the 42 submission of GoSmart Award from 20 cities and 14 countries, and 26 of them are from government. That means that the government, they are doing a lot of effort to make their city smarter. So here you can see some participant cities. We also have the statistic, and something excites us is that the participant of GoSmart Award is more and more diverse. So this year is the first year that we get a participant from Africa, and that really inspiring because that's something that we haven't learned, and we are eager to know more. So in the 4 years that we have 42 cities, they get involved GoSmart Award. So here I'm gonna share you some GoSmart Award project. The first one that Taipei City, and even Amanda has shared a lot, and this one is the winning project of this year. So this one is how they use the software, the solution to assist the visually impaired passengers to take a bus with IoT. So at the left side, you can see for passenger, what they do is that they design an app. So in the app, I know the app itself is Chinese, so maybe you cannot read, but check the orange part. So you can see that in the app that you can check the bus routes, and the user can know the arriving time, and also you can book a ride. So maybe you know that the bus is gonna come after 10 minutes or after 7 minutes, you can book it. And then when you book the ride and you stand in the meeting point, see the yellow part, so you can stand there. So it's more obvious for the drivers to notice you. At the right side for the driver, and the driver can get the notice that there's a passenger there that waiting for the bus, and which is needed. So you can see the red mark, and also that on the bus, to make sure that the driver won't miss the information, that they have the in-vehicle information system. The other case is from Kaohsiung City. It's a psychiatric hospital. So what they told us that in the hospital that a lot of accidents happen, and usually yes, from the most popular problem are falling and violence. So they create a system that they use the dashboard in the nursing station. So in the dashboard, the nurse can use the app, and they have the monitor alarm, so they can know the patient's situation all the time. And also they have the AI and big data at their IT centers. So at the patient's room, what they have is that they have the so-called eye-safe device. So what an eye-safe device do is that they have the radar, so can detect the patient's body posture and the breathing rate and the heartbeat. So through these kind of pictures, what you can learn from the patients, that you can know if he is going to fall or he is going to get angry and maybe make some violent action. So that's something that you can predict and make alarm and send the alarm back to the nursing station and do some prediction. So here you can see that, and this part that some people know, okay, that's something camera can do. And of course, that will be easier. And you can see here comes a chart to do the comparison of different way to do that. And you can see if you use the image to do that, the cost is really low, but the problem is the privacy and no one wants to be watched. So we also consider the patient's feelings. So in this way that the face is not recognized, they only see the, so it's without face factors. So this way that the patient's privacy was respect, and but also the protection is done as well. The other project is from the industry. So it's a company that what they do is that you can see at the left side, left upside, is the device. And what they can do is that they can do very accurate temperature and humidity detection and alarm, and they use CFOX signal. So the signal is stable and the battery can last for 1 year long and is waterproof, so you can put it outdoor. So what we put it there is that they put it there and to prevent the wildfire. So it sent alarm to the managed center if there's a possibility that the wildfire gonna happen. And also that they come on some other idea that, okay, this great solution can apply not in this way only. So you can see at the right side, they use it in the agriculture and the farm and even use it in the wine. So in this kind of scenario, they also require very accurate temperature and humidity environment. So these companies, you can see that they are not only doing their project in Taiwan, they expand their market to many other countries, and they have even more cases that I cannot just go through a lot here. So I still have some, I try to speed up. So there are another 2 cases I want to share that this one that is totally facilitated by GoSmart. So in this part that Fukuoka City and Taipei City are 2 city members of GoSmart. So these 2 cities has been very close to each other, and they always try to say, we want to work together. But what we can do is that they are trying to figure it out. And this moment that Line Fukuoka joined the platform as well. So Line, what is Line? Line is something like WhatsApp. So but which is really, really popular in Japan and Taiwan. So in this way that like Taipei, they have the official account. So what if I'm a Taipeese and I add Taipei city government in my line, so I can receive the information from government all the time, like disaster, sightseeing, traffic, or food, or any latest activities. I can receive the information all the time. And if one day, if with this solution, if one day I travel to Fukuoka, I can receive the information from Fukuoka City all the time as well, which is in Mandarin. It's not in Japanese, because if in Japanese, I wouldn't understand it. And without downloading other app or typing any other trigger. So that requires the collaboration between 2 governments and the open API and even the department's collaboration among 1 city. So that was a long process, and we were so happy for the cooperation. But unfortunately, when we were about to launch the project, the pandemic broke out. So people are not encouraged to travel. So we never really launched the project. But you can see the interface of the app was designed and all ready. So maybe we can do this with India as well. So that's something that we are looking for. And the other case will be more common. The next page. Next page. Yeah, the other case that is about, you can see that Raylan and Logan, they're both from Queensland, Australia. So these 2 cities that they are the one who just address their problem, the urban problem. for example, Redland City say they have a mosquito management problem, and they want this problem to be solved, and they're requiring some solution. And Logan City that they say, okay, they have the road detection problem. They want a platform to solve the problem. So MyTech is one of the SI company in those smart industry members. So they raise their hand, say, okay, we can do this. We can do this. PwC, they have their strong IoT platform, and they can do some customized design and help these two cities to integrate all the data they had. So help them to solve the problem and provide them the analysis and suggest them what decision making they can do. So in this way that the solution can really help the city to solve their problem, and who could benefit from these citizens. So that's what we want. So next page. And here you can see that, like Sam just mentioned, that we have the Smart Cities Summit and Expo in every March, and you're all welcome to join us. And Go Smart Day will also happen during the days. And if you can come here, and please welcome to join us Go Smart Day. And the next page, we also have a pavilion. That's one of the way that we display great solution from our industry members. You are all welcome to take a look. Next page. And we have Go Smart Award ceremony. And this year, like, we have the winners not only from Taiwan, but from Amsterdam, the deputy representative from Netherlands on behalf of Amsterdam to receive the award, which is the honor for both of us. Next page. So this is the last page. So what we try to do is that together is smarter. So there's a slang in Western countries say that a problem shared is a problem helped. And for us, that the goal of us is a solution shared is a solution doubled. We want us to stay smart and go together. That's what drive Go Smart to move forward. And we welcome all stakeholders from India to join us. So thank you for the time.
Thank you, Ms. Anita. It was wonderful. Like, a problem shared is a problem halved. So I think it's a wonderful platform, Go Smart. Like, as the concept of smart city is growing across the globe, there are many countries and many cities having their own typical problem that they're facing. And as you were explaining, like, they just need to share their problem into this platform so that somebody from some other country who have a solution can come back and help you in addressing the solutions. So in your opinion, like, how can Indian smart cities or tech consultants or solution providers can utilize this platform? Like, whether would they be a member or is it like an open platform?
Yeah, that's great. I think all the stakeholders from India are welcome to be Go Smart member. And there are some approach. The first one that, as I mentioned, that a lot of Go Smart has a lot of Taiwanese company members, and that makes Go Smart a best gateway if Indian company want to enter Taiwanese market or want to use Taiwanese market to enter their other Asian market. So you don't need to approach individual corporate in Taiwan on your own. Go Smart can help you to do that. Either you want to find a distributor, you want to find someone to do the prototype, or any potential collaboration. Go Smart can help you to do the linkage. And the other way is that join Go Smart, it doesn't mean that you can only approach Taiwanese market. Like what we say that we also help Spanish corporate members, and we link up different cities members through this platform. So sometimes we're joking that Go Smart is like a Tinder of smart cities. So just through this platform, we welcome all kinds of cooperation. So cities from India, company from India, you are all welcome to join this and just use us and make use of this platform to find your partners here.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think that's a brilliant idea, which the Indian smart cities, the consultants, or even the solution provider can really utilize it. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. So with that, we come to the final stage of this program. So that concludes today's Twin Dialogue. Once again, we would like to thank all the speakers, the audience, and especially BOFT and FCCI for supporting this event, both Bureau of Foreign Trade and the Foundation for Commerce and Culture Interchange. Without their support, we couldn't have run this program. And once again, thank you all for taking time out and joining us. Before winding up, please be reminded that we have made a recording of this forum and we'll post it on our social media platform. Make sure to like our Facebook page for updates. The link is now in the live chat. Thanks again for joining us today. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.